Feeding rocks. It should not be a crime to feed the homeless. Feeding rocks. A good Samaritan shouldn't be punished for acts of kindness. Feeding rocks. Because it's more of a crime to turn your back on a starving person. Feeding rocks. You shouldn't go to jail for sharing food. Feeding rocks. You can't in good conscience let a hungry person starve. Feeding rocks. Help us legalize charity. Go online and sign the petition. www.feeding.rocks. Feeding rocks.
Breaking the law, one meal at a time, feeding the homeless.
It is morally wrong to make it a crime to give food.
A Houston man who feeds the homeless because of his faith is suing the city, challenging the established charitable feeding ban. The often debated ordinance has banned sharing food in public groups of more than 5 people without city permission since 2012.
The city says you can give food to 5 people, not 6. What are you supposed to tell the 6th person? I met my quota today?
The city wants to dismiss Philip Paul Bryant's lawsuit.
That's a crime? What does this world come to? It's a sad day whenever trying to prevent a fellow human from starving is a crime.
The city says the ordinance aims to curb trespassing and littering, both of which were already prohibited in the municipal code prior to the passing of the ordinance. While some Houstonians are in support of the lawsuit,
I really hope he wins his case, and I really hope they lift those sanctions so we can be able to give more to the needy.
So if you're willing to help more than 5 homeless people, you should be able to do that.
some even challenge the city's support of their citizens.
The city isn't going to take care of their homeless people. That's their people. Somebody got to take care of them. So why can't we take care of them?
A question Houstonians will continue to ask as long as the ban remains.
Hi, this is Eric Dick, and I think it's important that you know your rights. If your homeowner's insurance company has denied or underpaid your claim, you have the right to hire an attorney. You have the right to call me for free consultation at 833-7-RIGHTS. That's 833-7-RIGHTS. Don't let your homeowner's insurance company take advantage of you. Call me today at 833-7-RIGHTS.
Has your homeowner's insurance claim been denied or underpaid? Call Dick Law Firm at 833-7-RIGHTS.
I gotta find a way to turn the monitor in here sometimes, because, you know.
Huh. Y'all heard that? You hear that? Yeah, y'all heard that? Y'all need to contact your lawyer before you're listening to this show. It's so spicy. We got so much juice going on today. You better just pull over, call your lawyer right now, and ask him.
There's a lot of people that probably should have called the lawyer before having any other discussions with other people. But, man, welcome to the Eric Dick Show. Man, good to be back on a Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock. It's Eric B. Dick, the homeowner's insurance lawyer, joined today along with myself, Chris Carmona, and our special guest, Ray J. Black Jr.
Oh, boy. And we just got a great, juicy show. Let's just go right at it. What is it? Hurricane Michael hit, and oh, boy, did it just wipe out Florida. Florida's gone.
Man, that is one of the worst hurricanes we've seen here in Florida in a while. But, you know, Houston, we kind of have that, well, what about us type of feeling. And as bad as it was for Florida, we always remind ourselves about Harvey last year. But that's a good reminder that, you know, so many other states and people from around the country, they came through. They picked up the slack and helped where Houstonians needed it, where Texans needed it. So if you have the ability, you know, we got to make sure we pull together and help out Floridians as well.
You're right, man. The worst thing that could happen, you spend a few $1 million on a house, and those houses down Pensacola, they're just beautiful. And, you know, it just gets wiped out. I hope their insurance companies treat them right, which they probably aren't. But I hope I'm going to be optimistic for a moment. I'm hoping they're going to do the right thing.
Eric, do you think they're actually going to do the right thing?
No.
How long have you been practicing insurance law?
10 years.
And you've been fighting for the homeowners for over 10 years, right?
I have. Yes,
and out of that 10 years, how many times have the insurance companies done the right thing when it comes to covering these types of losses?
Maybe 2.
2 times. Better call Dick.
Okay. So we know Hurricane Michael hit, but we got a lot of other hurricanes brewing in local politics.
Man, which one do you want to start with? The firefighters versus the mayor?
I think we need to talk about the firefighters versus the mayor. We got to bring our probate judge in on this to get his opinion.
Yeah, because you know what? That is an important thing. Our special guest today is attorney Ray J. Black Jr. He's also running for probate judge in court number 2, I believe. That's correct. In Harris County. Now, how important is the probate court system in Harris County?
Well, the probate courts, technically a court of last resort, if you will. I mean, that's the last place everybody goes, right?
and when people do pass away and they have some types of defined benefit plan, such as a pension, we see with the firefighters, that can sometimes be litigated in the probate courts, correct?
Absolutely. Anything that's related to an estate of a firefighter passed away, that's something that absolutely would be litigated potentially in probate court.
Right. I mean, so with this, the importance of the probate courts, the importance of firefighters, Eric, give us a rundown, man. What's going on with the fight between the mayor and the firefighters?
Oh, Sly Turner?
Sly. He's a sly man, isn't
he? He wants to have his cake and eat it too. I mean, he's what the firefighters, what my people say, they call him Turncoat Turner. he begged them, oh, please, guys, you guys need to support me because that old bad Bill King, he's going to take it all from you. He's gonna, really throw you right under the bus. And lo and behold, the first chance old Sly got, he just threw those poor firefighters under the bus. He thinks that making $27,000 is just fine.
Now, from what we know, is Houston is not on par with the rest of the major metropolitan cities across the country in terms of firefighter pay, are they?
Not even close. Just starting off, you make $27,000 being a firefighter. And I mentioned that because if I ever stroke out, right, which I'm hoping I don't stroke out, don't want to stroke out, hoping I don't stroke out.
Prayers for Eric, Dick.
But if I do, I hope the firefighters, they aren't too busy working their spare jobs, falling asleep for working their spare jobs, so they can actually, I want them to be able to be, make an honest living and be able to take care of people. So whenever they're stroking out, they can actually go help them. Isn't that a novel idea?
It is. I mean, I think all of Houston heroes should be adequately compensated. Mr. Black, what do you think?
Well, unfortunately, what I've seen and just going out and about campaigning is this issue has pitted the police officers against the firefighters, which is unfortunate because they both serve our public at large. And we need both adequately equipped and adequately compensated. And so it's unfortunate that you've got this issue. And I've seen statistics like you've mentioned, Chris, where our firefighters don't compare well with other metropolitan areas. And I don't know what the answer is, but it's unfortunate that it's turned out the way it is, where the two groups are at each other and on an issue that you would think would be something everybody could come together on.
They should. Whenever I ran for mayor, and I took the playbook from Rob Mosbacher, public safety, your infrastructure, your basic city services.
Your necessities.
You pick a few things, do a good job at it. But I don't see how we're doing a good job with public safety whenever our poor firefighters, they're making $27,000 a year.
And we can all agree in this room, I think, that there's plenty of money in the budget being wasted in other areas of city government that aren't really necessary services that could be used for the firefighters' pay.
What are you talking about? All that great art and the bike trails. So I think I love the bike trails.
We have to have a green city, Eric. We have to have a green city.
Well, I know, but it might be on fire, but it'll be a green city.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I'm interested to see how this unfolds at the ballot box in November, but something tells me that this fight won't be over in November. That's going to be something that's going to be thrown to the courts, kind of like it has before. So
don't tell them what's going to happen. But what I am happy about is that the firefighters are pushing for what they believe is right, and I just don't think they've gotten a fair rub in this. Kind of some background on this. like how with the firefighters, they had a kind of a better pension, and in return, they were paid less. What Sly did is he went to the legislature, cut their pension, so now they're paid less and have kind of a lousy pension. The police, on the other hand, they were paid in advance. They have like a so-so pension. So, you know, really what's happening is the city's, it's overspending, and it's trying to basically steal firefighters' money out of it, and they're kind of trying to have their cake and eat it too. And it's just, it's morally wrong. I don't see where it's not right. So.
And so if we have any firefighters out there, anybody who supports this or is against this Prop B initiative, give us a call. Let us hear what you think. 713-212-5950. But that's not the only thing that's hot going on in the city of Houston right now. Some bombshell just released. The Me Too movement is back, and apparently Sylvia Garcia may be involved with that one. We'll talk about that more.
Oh, boy.
Man.
It is juicy. Don't go anywhere. You're going to hear about Touchy Sylvia soon.
We'll be right back on the Eric Dick Show.
You like that, Touchy Sylvia?
Lord have mercy.
I don't know.
I like it. We'll go with it.
Don't be rash. When you do
Don't
that.
be rash. Oh.
I'll try not to be rash.
I want to know where it was going before the clerk or the other lady interrupted and unlocked the door.
Just the visual that I got.
Yeah.
That just was not pleasant.
It's not.
I mean, I got two girls, and I'm sitting there going, "Dang, come!"
Yeah.
I hear this. They're getting touched here by men, getting touched by women. What the heck?
Yeah.
I mean, your girls are older than mine, Chris.
And now I got something to watch out for both.
Watch out.
Man, I've been overprotective on these. Side.
I didn't think that would happen. I didn't think if you run around, oh, you want to see my rash? Well, I'm not a doctor. Well, you want to be my doctor today?
Oh man, that's crazy, man.
Oh, how about the stuff with Jolanda, like HISD?
Yeah, hey, I got that. We'll finish the Garcia stuff, then move on to the HISD stuff.
We gotta get both Garcias.
So
I don't look at the Jolanda stuff.
so HISD removed the interim superintendent this past week, and they said it was all just right down race lines. Blacks on one side, Hispanics on the other side, and they put back in Abe Savada, and I guess he was removed a long time ago. He's a former superintendent, and Jolanda's like, it's all about race.
I'm shocked because it's all a bunch of Democrats.
Yeah.
So are they saying the Democrats are racist?
Yeah, so that's how we got to talk about it.
That does seem very
Dude,
odd.
I think it's this Democrat momentum, our alleged momentum, it's just crumbling, man. I think the Republicans may sweep now. I was a
I
little.
hope you're right.
I think it was a little iffy before.
I was getting pulled under this morning that were still sketchy.
It's not in the
We
court.
gotta talk about Emmett too. Emmett's move, which is
Emmett with
interesting.
we'll tie that in with HIC about the Denver Cubs and then
Going to Emmett.
yeah, and then go with Emmett.
I see Emmett's play. Actually, I don't think it's a bad play. He's trying to break the street party vote.
Dude, the Dems are crumbling, man. They are literally crumbling. I mean, how can you? It's all self-induced. It's all self-induced.
Well, to be fair, the Beto is pretty much self-induced from Ted, kind of not being sensitive enough.
Whoever has these signs out there that says "Better stop texting me," I think it was Pyropack people. Great, good guys, man, but that was just not a good idea because all it does is give Beto some more name recognition. You're driving by, you don't know what says "Better." It says "Better." So
I know. I told him that too. Yeah. That better Pirate Pack.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. All right, they'll come back in about 25 seconds. Yes, Roseanne, you know what I'm talking about. Hey, but they were trying. All right.
Did you pull over? Did you talk to your lawyer? Can you tune in now? Is it okay? You guys clear it? because I'm telling you, it's about to get really really juicy.
If you haven't got legal counsel before, now's the time. And man, all right. So before we left off, man, this Sylvia Garcia thing, it's fire. So apparently, everybody was up in arms about these allegations from years ago with the Supreme Court nomination process. Well, now Sylvia Garcia has these same allegations from 20 years ago with a female staffer of hers.
Don't be rash, Chris. Don't be rash. What are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about touchy Sylvia.
I mean, there's always been some allegations about, the other Garcia running in precinct 2, calling him Grabby Garcia, but now it's like everybody's last name Garcia running for office seems to have this problem, or alleged problem. I mean, what's going on over there? What's going on with the Democrats on the east end of Harris County?
So what happened there? Wasn't it just some female staffer and what Sylvia's like, well, I got a rash. You want to see this rash?
Yeah,
pulls off her pants, runs around with her panties, rubbing it on her.
Yeah, from what I read in this affidavit or the portion I got, I mean, it's pretty gruesome or pretty detailed in terms of Sylvia wanted her lead clerk to examine her as if she was a doctor and made her feel very uncomfortable. Mr. Black, in this age of Me Too, does that bode well for voter confidence in the Senate District 29 going forward in November? Congressional District 29, sorry.
I would think not. I mean, with this Kavanaugh stuff in such recent times, and the new standard that's apparently out there with how we deal with accusations, I can't imagine this being a good thing for Sylvia Garcia or anybody else that's facing such interesting allegations.
So does she need to step down or resign, because that was the Democrats' main thing against Brett Kavanaugh? He can't be a public official, he can't be anything on the Supreme Court because he has these allegations. So do we now hold that standard for Sylvia Garcia?
I wish, but it's probably just like with Sheila Jackson Lee. Her constituents just don't care. If she wants to go around touching some girls, well, that's just touchy Sylvia. That's what she does. And that's, unfortunately, you have another person, you have Congresswomen, Sheila Jackson Lee. She does all sorts of crazy stuff, and she gets voted in every time. Yeah. So you're also going to have her counterpart, touchy Sylvia Garcia, run around chasing women.
Well, Philip Aronoff, who's running against her in this November, he's going to have an uphill battle on this, but at least that's something he may want to use as an arsenal when he's talking to voters that, hey, I don't have any allegations of people, touching people inappropriately. And so if that's something that really moves the Democrats, maybe that's something he needs to focus on.
What Philip should at least say is, whenever you are going around her, just don't take your girls, don't take your kids.
and that's a valid concern. I mean, I know we talk about it loosely, but I mean, that's a valid concern, because these allegations in the affidavit says it wasn't the first time, and there were multiple other occurrences and instances. So the Dems are going to have a problem with that going forward.
What else is interesting about Sylvia Garcia's race is that it's set up where a potential Republican could take that spot next year and during the special election. So Sylvia Garcia is just she's ran for office so many times it makes everyone in this room just look bad. And because we have not been nearly as active in running and losing elected offices as Sylvia Garcia has. Yeah. County commissioner, state
City
Senate,
Council for a while.
City Council, and now U.S. Senate. No, not U.S. Senate, U.S. House. Thank the Lord she's not running for U.S. Senate.
Not yet.
Give her a minute.
I mean, that's just one, internal debate, internal conflict they're going to have. The Dems are going to have this November. Another one that's unfolding in front of our eyes we've seen this week is HISD, Houston Independent School District. Eric, what's going on over there?
What I always find amazing is the level of just problems with HISD. When I say problems, you've got the former president who got convicted of criminal acts, stealing money, embezzling money. You've got them basically losing $20 million. I don't know how you lose $20 million. I don't know how you lose $1 million.
I'm trying to find a way to find $20 million.
But for some reason, they're really good at losing money. But now, apparently, this is the most Democrat HISD we've ever had. Every single person there is a Democrat. I don't even know if there's a man there. I think it's all female Democrats.
Well, Sergio Lira just got elected to replace Manny Rodriguez in that special election last year. So you do have him on there.
So you have one man.
I think that
everyone else is a woman. And you have what you have going
Lunsford on there, right?
No, Lunsford's not on there. Lunsford was there.
Okay, that's right. Lunsford's out.
It's all Democrat women, save and except that one guy.
That's true.
And you have basically allegations and a movement that there's a lot of racism happening from the trustees. So my question is, because, Republicans always get bummed with, oh, you're racist this, you're racist that. Well, hot dog, they're actually literally saying racism, and it's going on in HIC. It's all Democrats.
Yeah, we just got confirmation. There's only one man on the HIC board at this time. And you bring up a good point, though. So from what I understand, the argument was this week is HISD is 70% Hispanic in terms of student population. And apparently there was conflict in terms of the allegations at least from Jolanda Jones, was that the non-black board members said they wanted better representation from the superintendent that reflected the body of the students. And so there was a vote to remove the interim superintendent. Wasn't a permanent, but an interim superintendent, because we're still trying to find a replacement from Carranza when he left up to New York. And so Grenita Lathan was a black female, and they removed her as the interim and put her back into a regular position. And they're saying the vote was straight down. The black board members on one side, non-black board members on the other side. Is there race division going on at HISD? And with the Democrat HISD board, does that help or hurt Republicans or Democrats in this November election?
I think it just hurts. It hurts the students. Those are the people that have been completely taken advantage of the whole way through. What do you think, Ray?
Well, the issues clearly impede what the board is there to do, which is govern for the sake of the students. And this HISD has had a history of poor governance because of issues like this that take apparently precedence over what they're elected to do. And I think it sounds like, regardless of the makeup of the board politically, it sounds like if you view every problem as a nail, every solution is the hammer, and that's what they do, regardless of who's there. And the students, as Eric said, are the ones that lose out.
Yeah, and that brings me to a point, because there's always been some underlings and some undertones of, we need to get rid of the Harris County Department of Education because it serves no purpose. Doesn't? But when you see HISD in such disarray, couldn't you make the argument that the Harris County Department of Education can actually be the hero in these types of incidents? And they can. Is there a role? Eric, you're a trustee on the board. Is there a role that the Department of Ed could be playing in this scenario?
I'm actually the vice president there too, and before I understood what the Department of Education was, I jumped up and down and said we should get rid of it because I thought it was just a wasteful government entity. I thought it was redundant to HISD, and as I've looked at it, kind of looked more in detail on it, anything that kind of takes away from HISD is a good thing. Because there's no saving HISD. I have actually changed my opinion that we need to abolish HISD and break it up. It is just so insane. The shenanigans never end. For the last 6 years I've been paying attention to HISD. It's just problem after problem after problem. So I think the best role like a Department of Education could have is, go back to its original purpose. If there's problem with the, local school ISDs, break them up, separate them out. That's what I think would be the best role for, the Department of Education. Absent that, trying to, do what it can to, not be exceptionally wasteful, which is easy. Yeah. All the department has to not do is take a bunch of money and get some gas and just set it on fire. As long as they don't do that, we're good. Because
the Department of Education actually runs at a surplus. They're never over budget. They actually are probably the most efficient countywide government organization. Is that correct to say?
That actually is. It's true. We are $30 million in the black. Usually these government agencies involving education are in the red, but we're $30 million in the black, $100 million budget a year. We do a decent job. I'm not going to give it an A. I'd give it like a B minus, C plus. It has room for improvement. But what it's not doing is taking money and just throwing it away like HISD.
Yeah, and that's the problem with HISD, man. Is it just watching that this week and seeing how, again, that racial divide, how these students are going to be the ones affected. You know, they're going to start having that tension. I don't want to see a black versus Hispanic rivalry start in the city of Houston. And I don't want that going, started in HISD, in the schools or on the board. But I'm sure it's going to, we say political affiliation doesn't matter, but they're all Democrats and they're going to start turning on each other. There's going to be a lot of people who start saying, don't vote for Democrats, don't vote here, don't vote there. And so there's going to be a lot of party switching or party lines being drawn. And we'll talk about some other star-studded county officials who are also going to say jump over party lines when we come back.
Don't go anywhere. Eric Dick Show. We're just warming up, folks. You better talk with your lawyer.
Don't be right.
I had to.
That's great.
I had to.
Hey, we're pretty creative to be able to weave all this in and out and make it all relevant.
I actually, I thought, listening to it, it's listenable. It's not I'm glad that we're more positive, or at least humorful. Than,
Yeah, we're not bash like some people always are.
It's exhaustive.
All right, so we'll come back on around 33.
Yeah.
Am I doing okay?
Oh, you're doing great.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
Your time to shine after Emmett.
I have no idea.
Just talk about. We just go over the basics about what's a good judge, what's a bad judge.
Yeah,
Ex-party communication, bad.
Yeah. We've had some of that happen recently over in Brazoria County.
There's certain let's just go to the basic things you're supposed to do as being a judge. You're just supposed to be fair, listen to everybody. And this is one of the most sensitive times of their life. Well, actually, not in their life, but in the beneficiaries' lives. And it's a stressful time. It actually can be nastier than family law because people get weird around money. There's a whole lot.
Yeah, the problem. I mean, that's
like law. You're fighting with your mind. But you're fighting with somebody else's mind.
Yeah, and it's probate's the dirtiest of all of them. They really are.
It is the dirtiest of all. It's so. If I wasn't doing insurance law, probably law is pretty dang entertaining. Yeah. It's pretty you see some stuff there.
You got the one with the Anna Nicole Smith one was the classic. That was in the court I'm running.
And then he hopped on that somehow with the family was the grandmother, right? Anna Nicole's grandmother, or who was it?
Oh no, who was it? Give me a second.
You somehow got involved in that.
I did get involved in that. It was a defamation suit against.
Roseanne, to answer your question, it was allegations. So the allegations are out there. I don't know
a defamation suit.
Whether or not it happened or not, but it's allegations.
They were suing my gal. So I don't. You know what? I don't. This was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's amazing it's been that long.
713-212-5950.
Juicy stuff.
Somebody wants to call in. So. It does. Yeah, it does. The time flies. Anybody on the phone lines? Nobody?
No.
What's wrong with that?
It's football season.
It is football season. Hey, Irma.
Got a lot of people watching that.
Nah, I think Carmona is done. Now he's just there for entertainment purposes. But yeah, if y'all want to call in, just to talk about a lot of things going on. 713-212-5950. Hey, Berg. Berg, are you going to call in? You should call in and say you have some questions for us.
Just make up something, right?
And also, since we're always looking for more people to add on to the allegation story, if you've been affected by the state senator in District 6, Sylvia Garcia, please let us know. We'd love to have the exclusive on this going forward.
Yeah, Touchy Garcia.
Because if Touchy Garcia's touched one, there may be more out there. And
probably did touch more. She tried to show you her rash.
Don't be rash about it.
Don't be.
But, yeah, so if anybody else knows anything, let us know. Give us the exclusive. Let us break the news.
Man, Chris, I got this really bad rash on my leg, and I don't know. You want to see it?
No, you know who doesn't need to see it though is your lead clerk if you had one.
Okay, guys, we're back.
All right.
Oh boy. So what happened this week was just giant with Ed Emmett. Old hunker down. He said that. Well, one, he got the Chronicles endorsement.
He got the Chronicles endorsement.
I was shocked.
And he was excited.
Oh, I was shocked. Who would have thought that the Chronicle would endorse old hunker down? And doesn't he live over at the Astrodome? Isn't that where he lives now?
I think he has a personal suite being built underneath. So when we have the next hurricane, he can hunker down in his personal private villa.
I mean, he loves that Astrodome. So anyway,
who doesn't he love?
Oh, he doesn't love Lieutenant Dan. He doesn't love Dan Patrick, apparently.
Man, in a bombshell announcement this week, Ed Emmett, the Harris County judge, has publicly stated he didn't just say he was not going to vote for the Republican nominee for lieutenant governor. He went out and made sure he stated, I am going to vote for the Democrat, Mike Collier. That's huge. How does that affect Republicans down ballot? As someone who's on the ballot in November, Ray J. Black Jr., how does that affect you and the rest of your brethren running for judge this November that the county judge has come out and said, break up the ticket and cross party lines?
Well, since this is the last year we're going to have straight party voting here in Harris County, it's important, I think, at least for Republican judges, that we get as many straight party voters as we can. I know that Judge Emmett does great work for the county, always has, and is very popular. But he's also not one to shy away from supporting Democrats and Republicans both. So I guess it remains to be seen whether those comments and the Chronicles endorsement are going to have any adverse effect on the Republicans, but I certainly hope it doesn't.
Do you remember Lloyd Oliver?
I do remember Lloyd Oliver.
You remember what Lloyd Oliver said that got him kicked off the ballot?
He was supporting the Republican nominee.
Yeah, he was. So my question is, Lloyd Oliver, Democrat for DA, he said, I think he said basically he was going to support. I don't even think he said he was going to vote for. He just said he'd prefer like some type of Republican over Democrat. And lo and behold, the Democrats are so outraged by Lloyd Oliver. The Tea Party Democrat, as he called himself. They were so upset about that Tea Party Democrat, they kicked him off the ballot. Will that happen here?
Well, I think it's too late there because that was in a primary situations. I don't think they're going to kick him off the ballot, but I understand Emmett's position because he's a very strong candidate countywide. And he doesn't really necessarily need every single Democrat to win or every single Republican to win because he does have enough crossover appeal. But was it necessary in this instance to take that last jab? Because everybody said this is Emmett's last tenure or last term once he wins. Was it necessary or was that just a potting shot to go as he leaves his last election?
So if you're looking at it strategically, it could be necessary because you have like this overtone of Beto and him pushing for Harris County and likely to win Harris County. The question should become, how much does Beto win Harris County by? Does he win it by 10, 15% like Hillary did 2 years ago? Or does he just barely win it or even hypothetically lose it like with like Ted Cruz, his election 6 years ago, where Ted Cruz just squeaked Harris County?
He did. And that's the thing. With the county so competitive, I'm shocked. I am truly shocked that the Harris County Republican Party chairman would not have that discussion with Ed Emmett prior to making such a bold statement. But am I shocked that he didn't? I'm probably lying if I say I'm shocked.
Well, let's kind of go into that. Just a minute. This is a good thing to kind of.
I'll let y'all talk about that one.
Let me veer off just for a minute on this because you got, if I remember right, the financial chair of the Republican Party, who also is very influential in an organization, and that organization endorses Democrats. So you have that kind of tying on. The HRBC, who endorsed Democrats over Republicans, though it did primarily endorse Republicans, It's an alleged Republican organization that does support Democrats. To deny that is to be dishonest. And you have someone with such close alliance to the Republican Party. That brings me some pause. It also brings me some pause that the consultant for the local Republican Party is tied in with Strauss, and just an excruciating moderate. All this tied together with, guess who was on air saying vote for Paul Simpson? It was Ed Emmett.
No.
So
no.
I don't know.
Don't say it ain't so.
Oh, so you see all this stuff going on, all this loosey goosey Republican winking, playing footsies with Democrats. You wonder, is this like an inside job to sabotage in some certain races? I don't know. I hope it's not. I'm going to be positive about it. But dadgum, there's a lot there.
And that's the thing. The party has given full resources to Ed Emmett and the likes of like Sarah Davis, who's very in a competitive district herself. And there's always that preach about big tent. But when you take a shot at an ultra-right conservative like Dan Patrick, is the Harris County Republican Party truly a big tent party now? Or is it just saying if you're not moderate, probably don't have a spot here for you?
Yeah. Well, I
don't know. I mean, those are questions that are probably going to be answered soon enough.
Big tent when it's convenient for the party. Whenever you're paying to play, it's big tent.
Yeah.
So let's kind of maybe turn the page.
Well, now we have the election coming up. That's true. And, today's special guest is a longtime practicing lawyer, great mind, great scholar, good friend of mine, and also a stout judicious mind. That is Mr. Ray J. Black Jr. Welcome to the Eric Dick Show.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Eric.
And so you are running for, like I said earlier, the Harris County Probate Court number 2. And that's a very special court in Harris County because there's 4 of them, because the legislator has specifically drawn out in certain jurisdictions, you have a specific probate court instead of just going to a regular district court or a county court, correct?
Correct. And they primarily sit in the major metropolitan areas here in Texas. There's an exception to that. But in Harris County, as you said, we have 4 statutory probate courts. They're specialized courts, and they're courts of original jurisdiction for probate cases, guardianship cases, fiduciary litigation, and elder law and mental health issues. And because they're specialized, their jurisdiction is actually broader than your average probate court. So there are issues that can be related to probate or guardianship cases that are not probate and guardianship related or specific, but they get drawn into probate courts, and so they have broad jurisdiction. The same as you might find in a district court, for example, where they hear personal injury cases, so can a statutory probate court, or they can hear divorce cases and family law, so can a statutory probate court if it's related to their underlying issues.
Incident appertaining to an estate or one action.
And so one of those would be if, for example, if there's a wrongful death action, if it's there in probate, during the probate period, and someone in the family files a wrongful death, would that go to the probate court or would that go to the district court?
It depends on the filing of matters. So sometimes those cases get filed separately. So if you have a personal injury case where someone dies or is severely injured, then the probate or the guardianship, if there's one, may get filed over in the statutory probate court, but the personal injury case may end up over in district court to start. But it's not uncommon for those personal injury cases to get drawn back into probate court if it warrants a transfer. And it's not unheard of. In fact, for years, when I first started practicing, when the district court dockets were so backlogged, it was not uncommon for cases to get pulled over in probate court because they had more time to hear the cases, and you got a lot faster a trial schedule, and you got a result quicker than you might in district court.
Okay, and so another example, say I have a guy that owes me maybe $200,000 and he passes away. I mean, I'm sure I still want to collect my money somehow. Where do I go and file suit to collect my money from that estate?
So as a creditor of somebody's estate, if there's a estate pending, you can file a claim in that estate for the amount that you believe you're owed. There's a process for that. And so it's important, as Eric says all the time, you need to get your lawyer involved. But it is a very complicated process at times. The probate system is statutory in nature. There's a huge estates code that your average lawyer, I think, can even be intimidated by because it's just so much to wade through when you have issues like that. But that's where they would file it in the probate court in the estate. Or if there's not one pending, they can even open an estate for that deceased person as the creditor, and they can proceed with their claim that way.
I just note that the probate code is it's exceptionally complicated, and I think complicate's the best way to explain it, because you have some parts of the law that say one thing, and then lo and behold, you got other parts of the law that say something completely different. So you've got
almost contradictory.
It is contradictory. So it's difficult, I'd say, for the average lawyer, probably even difficult for the average probate lawyer to understand probate law. And I'm so happy we have you here today, Ray, because not only is he just a nice guy, which is really, really, really important for being a judge, Ray actually understands the law, which is rare. But
because it is a complicated part, like you said. I mean, he can not only just hear probate matters, but because it's called the probate court, but he hears a lot of other things. Let me ask you this, because this is a question that we sometimes get, and maybe we'll have to answer it on the way back. But hold that thought, because a lot of things in Harris County surround about this immigration debate. Does that tie to probate? We'll find out.
Oh, next, you guys stick in.
We'll find out soon.
Eric Dick Show, stick with me.
So what is the question?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so when schools, so you have school districts, and you have families who, they have kids that are over here, but not necessarily the parents, but they have relatives that live here, and so the kids want to stay with the relatives and go to a school here. School sometimes says, okay, we need somebody that says they're the guardians. Does that, you need an actual guardianship? Or do you just have to have a power of attorney over the body, or the person, not the estate?
Gotcha. No, the answer.
With the parents back in whatever country, does it go? That's so. Because I get that question a lot.
We got a phone call from Buck Humble. He wants to talk about a touchy Adrian Garcia.
Yeah.
Grabby Garcia.
Grabby Garcia. Oh.
Okay, so we have a call that he wants to talk about Adrian Garcia, and his name is Buck Buchanan.
Buck Buchanan. We know Buck Buchanan.
I'll talk about Grabby
I
Garcia.
figured you must.
Buck I have a picture of Buck taking my son.
The name of the show is The Eric Dick Show. It's on KPRC AM 950 right there. So, and then Eric, right here. So yeah, if you go on to 950 AM in your radio or go on the iHeartMedia app, look for it. You'll see it. We're on live right now. Man, why don't y'all tell me my hair was already discombobulated? Y'all gotta look out for me. Y'all are looking out for me today.
I have a face for it.
I got a face.
Today truly is the face for radio. The number is 713-212-5950. So if y'all want to call in again, 713-212-5950.
Grabby Garcia.
Touchy Sylvia. Grabby Garcia.
You just don't go. You go into you go into precinct 2. Unless
You go to the East End.
Unless Mormon's around watching you, you're gonna get touched. Thank God you got a Mormon right there. I'm trying to get them off you. Fighting Jack, just fighting them to fighting away the molesters.
My hair? Come on. Nah, it's usually nice and, some little fluff in there. Now I think it's because I put that water on in the headphones. Leave me alone.
The softball practice board.
Post practice.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's because normally my whole body hydrates from these drinks, but I grabbed the wrong one today. I got the honey instead of the cinnamon. Yeah. The honey helps the curls lay down flat.
Okay.
Yeah. 10 seconds. So Buck comes on. There you go. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. So Buck comes on. 10 seconds. So Buck comes on. 10 seconds. 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 10 seconds
All right, folks, we're back for the final segment of the Eric Dick Show, and I hear someone's calling and want to talk about Gabby Garcia. You better watch out if you're in the East End. You better watch out. You got two elected officials that got some slippery hands. Gonna touch you. You there? You there, Buck? Hey, man, what's going on? Welcome to the Eric Dick Show. Please.
And I don't know how he won in the first place, but then after he was elected sheriff midterm, he quit to run for mayor. Adrian Garcia was an HPD officer, city councilman. Then he ran for sheriff, and he wasn't running for the people. He was running for himself. And then he ran for congressman and lost. Well, he ran for mayor and then lost. And then he ran for congressman. Now he's running against Commissioner Mormon.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't live in Commissioner Mormon's district. But how does Adrian Garcia get elected like that when he stays nowhere? Do y'all have any answer for that?
The sheeple.
So the people on the East End, they know Adrian Garcia, but you always get elected. And I was just wondering if Republicans would be helping Adrian get in there.
There are a sliver of Republicans that do support him. People like Jacob Motti, which I kind of wonder why he feels the need to support Adrian Garcia. But, you know, on the other hand, you have fighting Jack Mormon, who he has a lot of bipartisan support. Jack he's a good guy. He's the real deal. He really is just a people's person. It's kind of shocked me whenever I first met him and how so there's a tie in here. You got Touchy Sylvia, who got arrogant being a county commissioner. She had $2 million in the bank and just did nothing, figured that she was gonna be a county commissioner, get all of her secretaries to sit in her lap. It was gonna be a good time. But, while she was too busy, I guess, doing what she was doing, fighting Jack Mormon got in there and he won. He won by doing the basic things, going door to door, letting everybody know that it was time for a change. He's going to do a good job. And the guy he really has done a good job. I don't see him losing Precinct 2. I just don't see it. He has run such a tight campaign. He's been everywhere. If you're in Precinct 2, you're going to walk around. You're just going to see him just driving by. That guy is everywhere in Precinct 2. If there's just like a bike show, you're going to see him there.
He's everywhere. And so, but to answer your question, I mean, Adrian, got elected in, I think it was 2008, first as sheriff.
It was against Tommy Thomas.
And you got to keep in mind, at that time, there was some internal issues going on with the Thomas campaign and the administration. And so that's how Adrian was able to get the confidence of the county people. But thanks for your call, Buck.
Let's move on to Jim. You there, Jim? Hey, Jim.
Did we lose Jim?
I don't know. You there, Jim? Yes, sir. What's going down? Welcome to the Eric Dick Show.
I love y'all's and I continuously support. And I just had a quick question in regards to the law career. Chris Carmona is actually a Facebook friend, and I heard about it through his promotions on his Facebook Live right now. So what's up, Chris? Thank you.
What's going on, Jim?
Hey, man, I'm on 1L year at Texas Southern University, Thurgood Marshall School of Law, and I just wanted to ask some advice in regards to pursuing my career as an attorney. Is there any advice that you might have before I finish and I graduate as far as positioning myself in a way where I can, maximize my opportunities? I definitely want to make sure I preserve my energy.
Absolutely. Network. You want to build your network. That's the best thing you do. I know a lot of people are going to focus on getting good grades, make sure you're at the top of your class. And that's important to make sure you pass, but your network is going to be the thing that makes you successful. And another thing, get politically involved because law and politics go hand in hand. And one way or the other, you're always going to be involved somehow. And the more you know, the more people you know, it's going to enhance your network. But it's also going to give you brighter minds to surround yourself with. And it's going to surround yourself with people who actually make decisions once they get elected on the bench. You know, you'll have that opportunity to know their mindset because you converse with them, you hang around with them, and you network with them. So build your network.
Also,
I would say both.
you want to meet and talk with as many people as you can, because the non-attorneys will end up being your clients. The attorneys you'll end up dealing with, they'll be friends, they'll mentors, mentees, just people that you pick each other's mind, because cool, man. Thank you.
Don't forget your classmates too, because those are people you're going to continue to network with the rest of your career, and you don't know what they're going to do as they progress through their legal career, and you're going to touch base with them for years to come.
And you talk about the network. One of my friends, I'm involved in Young Republicans across the country, and one of my network group, Matthew Gilson, just joined on my live feed. I got people in New Jersey, California, Omaha who refer. So just make sure you build that network and don't just stay local. Build your national network. So thanks for the call, Jim.
Hey, so thank you. Hey, we have Ahmed. Hey, man, what's going down? Welcome to the Eric Dick Show.
And exciting when we talk about politics in America. That's why I'm personally writing a book, which is not done yet, going to be Immigrant for America. I ran for county commissioner, I ran for county judge, I ran for youth Congress, I ran Republican, Democrat, Independent in Kansas, and I'm here. But you know what? I love America. Last election in year 16, I was the Democratic nominee for county judge. Okay?
Congratulations.
I have a law degree. I have a doctorate degree. I have a security clearance from the feds in all three.
Wow.
I'm highly educated. I'm a businessman. And guess what? Because the name Hassan always can beat me in the primary. And that's why I keep running. Because the people, they need to change their image. They love you as a lawyer, as a businessman, as a doctor, as whatever. But when it comes to election, they do not vote for a name, which is sad, because we all immigrants, but people don't realize that. That's a name.
All right, thanks for the call, man. Thank you. We'll keep that in mind going forward. We have to make sure we just look past names, and we appreciate the call.
We really do, man. And sometimes, thank you so much. And we're sorry, we're running out of time. Didn't mean to really cut you off, but with names, you just got to keep running. I have an odd last name. Some people consider it a lot of different. A lot of different people have different opinions on it.
Yeah. And so, again, one last question in terms of probate. While we have Ray Black here, does immigration in any way play a role in the probate court, especially in Harris County? There's always that the issue of immigration that pops up one way or the other. Does that play a role in the probate courts? And if people are parents from another country want to send their kids to Harris County to live with a relative, do they need to go through the probate process for that?
Well, it depends. If the school district, which oftentimes needs someone with some legal authority to speak or make decisions on behalf of the child who may be here, you may actually have them ask that a guardian get appointed for the minor to have some legal authority to make decisions for them. And if that's true, then of course the probate courts are the place to go. That's where we do guardianships, and we do them for everybody who is fitting in the statute as someone who's, as they claim, incapacitated. But being a minor is part of the definition of being incapacitated. So they fit into the system. And as needed, we take care of those minors. It's not uncommon. It doesn't have to just be with the school district. We see that all the time. We talked earlier about personal injury cases. Personal injury cases affect everybody. It doesn't matter whether you're a U.S. citizen or not. In your case, may end up in probate court. So we cover all facets of that. And while we don't deal with immigration directly, we certainly deal with people who have an issue.
Thank you, guys. Don't forget to vote. Election's coming soon. Thank you so much, Ray Black. He's a great guy.
He is, and you know, Ray is again one of the most knowledgeable attorneys I know, not just on probate, but with a lot of things. So remember, November, look for those names on the ballot, people that you can trust, and Ray Black is one of them. And also remember that if you have the need for someone to fight for you because of some homeowner insurance disputes, insurance company's not taking care of you, who do they need to call?
Better get Dick, Eric Dick.
Better get Dick, Eric Dick. Again, it's been a pleasure spending some time with y'all on this Saturday afternoon. Chris Carmonas here with Ray J. Black Jr. and Eric B. Dick. Take us away, Eric.
Next time. See you guys next week. Y'all have a great weekend. Bye. That was fun. It's always fun.
Guys, thank y'all again. Thanks for the calls.
See you guys.
And, thanks for the feedback. I'll get back to y'all. Peace.
Have you suffered property damage and had your insurance claim denied?
This is Eric Dick. I think it's important that you know your rights. Hurricane Harvey may have been the most costly storm in history, and if your home was damaged and your insurance company did you wrong, well, you have the right to hire an attorney and sue them. You have the right to call me for a free consultation at 833-3-HARVEY, 833-3-HARVEY. Don't let your insurance company take advantage of you. Know your rights.
Call the Dick Law Firm now at 1-833-3-HARVEY.
Feeding rocks. It should not be a crime to feed the homeless. Feeding rocks. A good Samaritan shouldn't be punished for acts of kindness. Feeding rocks. Because it's more of a crime to turn your back on a starving person. Feeding rocks. You shouldn't go to jail for sharing food. Feeding rocks. You can't in good conscience let a hungry person starve. Feeding rocks. Help us legalize charity. Go online and sign the petition. www.feeding.rocks. Feeding rocks.
A local pastor is fed up, and he's challenging the Houston homeless feeding ordinance.
And the city requires you to get a permit if you are going to share food. He can't get a permit because he doesn't know where he's going to share food.
Philip Paul Bryan regularly keeps cans of tuna and water bottles in his car to hand out to homeless people. But under the current city ordinance, he's breaking the law. His attorney says Bryan does this because his faith teaches him to help the less fortunate.
This law that's in place, it's a mean-spirited law. It's against, charity. It's against kindness. It's against doing the right thing.
Eric Dick says they plan to fight this till the mayor and city officials overturn what some believe is a misguided ordinance.
Hi, this is Eric Dick, and I think it's important that you know your rights. If your homeowner's insurance company has denied or underpaid your claim, you have the right to hire an attorney. You have the right to call me for a free consultation at 833-7-RIGHTS. That's 833-7-RIGHTS. Don't let your homeowner's insurance company take advantage of you. Call me today at 833-7-RIGHTS.
Has your homeowner's insurance claim been denied or underpaid? Call Dick Law Firm at 833-7